So apparently Die Hard 6 is titled McClane because they want to steal from Rambo. I just don't get it. Yes, the last one sucked. I liked Live Free Die Hard. I know some people out there don't, but to me it's a good sequel. And they are bringing back that director, Len Wiseman, to do Die Hard 6. Or is it Wiseman? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. So at least they have that enough sense to bring him in. And, you know, because John Moore is such a hack. And, you know, A Good Day to Die Hard sucked. But to me, this whole prequel-sequel plot is not interesting. You're going to do Die Hard 6. You know, this should be the culmination. This is where you should go full circle with the character. But instead, you're going to do this whole back and forth where it's going to take place in the 70s, where McClane is in his 20s, and go to the present day, where McClane is in his 60s. How is that interesting? And the title, McClane, you can't, that's not even creative. Rambo worked. You know, the title for Rambo 4, Rambo worked. That works for that. Calling Die Hard 6 McClane, to me, doesn't make much sense. You can't come up with something. At least Die Hard 4 came up with Live Free Die Hard. Die Hard 3, it was Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard 2, Die Harder. You can't come up with an interesting title? Yeah, Good Day to Die Hard, that's a shit title. You can come up with something better than that. When you can't come up with a better title than A Good Day to Die Hard, then you know we're in for possibly a shitty sequel. And I don't fucking want that. Die Hard 5 sucked. I don't want this to suck. But from the stuff that I'm hearing, and this plot that is not interesting, it's hard to have hopes. Because Die Hard 6 should be, again, the culmination. It should be a culmination of this character, the full circle, the swan song, whatever you want to call it. You have a chance to do it right. Instead, you just want to go back to this prequel-sequel storyline, which is not appealing. Because you know they're going to go out there and look for... Who are they going to get? Joseph Gordon-Levitt to play a young John McClane? Since they already had him play a younger Bruce Willis in Looper, which I still haven't seen. I've heard good things about. So who are you going to get? Well, I don't care. I just don't care enough. Oh, they're going to bring back, I think one character that they want to bring back that is essential to this plot is Bonnie Bedelia, Bruce Willis's wife, in the films. I still don't care. Because they're not going to do it right. It's 20th Century Fox. But reading off Deadline.com, it's not much to this article, but Deadline originally broke the story in 2015 that the next installment of the franchise was originally put on the drawing board as Die Hard Year 1, with Live Free and Die Hard Helmer Len Wiseman returning. According to the Empire Report, the sequel-prequel script features Willis as a 60-year-old John McClane with a younger version of McClane in his 20s. We want you to get invested in John McClane more than ever before. We are going to explore John McClane in his 20s, but just as prominent is the 60-year-old version. And then it kind of goes on, just one last paragraph and talks about Die Hard is based on the novel Nothing Lasts Forever. So, yeah. So apparently this is going to be, Die Hard 6 is going to be an origin story. Why? Why? Why does Die Hard 6 need to be an origin story? It's not interesting. Who gives a shit? This is like Rob Zombie's Halloween. We have to explore. We have to go into the background. We have to look deep and dissect why, and dissect the mystery, dissect the history. I think we know a lot about John McClane. I think we know plenty about John McClane. We got 4 movies and a shitty movie. Which, sucks. But I think we know John McClane enough. We know that he was a cop. 11 years prior to the events of the first film. Why does that need to be explored? Give me one good reason. Someone comment down below, why does that need to be explored? And I did hear about the Die Hard Year 1 comics. I just don't think that's interesting of a plot, of a storyline for Die Hard 6. I've always thought for Die Hard 6, 2, to me, plots, directions that you can go for Die Hard 6. 1, I would like to see John McClane go to Tokyo, to get maybe honored of the events from the first movie, 30 years after the fact, and you sort of get like a repeat, where, repeat situation where, this big, this building, this, so not like at Nakatomi, but this building gets taken over by terrorists, maybe the Yakuza or something like that. John McClane has to stop them, where it sort of repeats the events from the first film, but this time McClane's in Tokyo, and he has to take out the bad guys. And you could bring back characters like Bonnie Bedelia and, Samuel Jackson, which I know apparently they want to bring him in as well. Samuel Jackson, his character. They want to bring him back. Zeus. Another thought I had, you can always take John McClane to Vegas. I mean, you've been to New York. Where else are you going to go in the States? To me, Las Vegas, to me, would make a fun Die Hard movie. There's so much you could do with that. And you can have action scenes at the Hoover Dam and, maybe the Grand Canyon. Just stuff like, but have it take place in Vegas. That to me would make a fun Die Hard movie. And I know some might say, well, there shouldn't be any more, and I can't really disagree, because after that last one, that one sucked. My thing is, if you're going to do it, then do it right. But they can't even do it right. Because they're sticking to their guns on this prequel-sequel idea, plot. And now Die Hard 6 is going to be titled McClane. Because they can't come up with anything creative. They can't even come up with a creative title. They can't even play off the Die Hard title. It's like I said, when you can't even come up with a better title than A Good Day to Die Hard, then we're in for something. And it's not good. I know Bruce Willis is having somewhat of a comeback, with Unbreakable 2, Glass coming out next year. So he's doing that. But there's so much you can do with Die Hard 6. I've talked about Rambo 5. That to me makes no... Rambo 4 ended it perfectly. It ended on a high note. Rambo 5 makes no sense. Rambo 5, I don't see the point, and I don't think it's needed. because I have the sinking feeling that they're going to kill off Rambo in Mexico. And I don't want to see that. It's either Stallone dies in the Creed movies, or he's going to die as Rambo, and I don't want to see either one of them. But I have a feeling, and the inevitable is going to happen, that Rambo could be killed off in Rambo 5. It would not surprise me. And now you're doing Die Hard 6, which really I don't have a lot of interest in. I don't have a lot of interest in this. I just don't care. I don't care about this idea. I don't care about this plot. I don't care for the title. Why? It doesn't need to be explored. We know plenty about John McClane in the first 4 movies. You know, it's just... And I would like to talk more about this in, the Talking Real podcast, which I'm going to get back on. And, have more discussions. But I like doing these sort of random videos and random sort of rants. But yeah, Die Hard 6 right now, as it looks like it's going to suck. Especially with that title, especially with that plot. They can say, how many times can they say one thing and they can just, they can't be trusted. What do I mean is, and I know this might be sort of a different example, or, but they could say, like, for example, Big Trouble in Little China. It's not a reboot. It's not a continuation. And for Die Hard 6, they could say, oh, we're going to go back and forth. We're going to make sure that, we focus on John McClane in his 20s as well as the 60s. But to me, that's just bullshit. Why do I have a feeling they're just going to focus more on John McClane in his 20s? And that to me is not going to be, is going to suck. It's not going to be interesting. It's going to suck. I don't trust them. I don't trust the studios. Especially after that last one. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for now. I mean, without going on and on. And like I said, maybe I would like to discuss this more, possibly with a guest. But, yeah, Die Hard 6, McClane, whatever. Right now, as it looks like it's going to suck. And the plot sucks. Bruce Willis, I can say 2 things right. I think we're just going to see more of Die Hard 5. It's going to be Die Hard 5 again. Where he's going to sleepwalk through the movie. And there's not going to be much John McClane. I can guarantee you. There's going to be less of Bruce Willis in this one. No matter what they say. There's going to be less Bruce Willis in Die Hard 6. Oh, but, the stuff in his 20s, it's all flashbacks. But who cares? Why do we need flashbacks? Oh, it has something to do with what happened in his 20s. The villain is going to be, a character that, that is from the 70s. From that era. From that, pre-Die Hard era. But who cares? So, yeah, that's my feelings on Die Hard 6. McClane, I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully I'll talk more about this, but I wanted to make this sort of, random video. But thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on Die Hard 6? What are your thoughts on this title? What's your idea for Die Hard 6? What should have been for Die Hard 6? To me, it should have been like a full circle thing where McClane gets honored for the Nakatomi events, and you sort of have like a repeat situation 30 years later, where you take John McClane to Vegas. One of the two could have worked for Die Hard 6. There you could have went full circle. And, McClane goes out on a high note. So that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.